What is up, everybody? We are back for another PSGL video. I'm sorry it's coming out a little bit later than usual. I've been busy this week, but it is out before the next race, and you can see the drivers' standings. Last time out in Hungary, we didn't score any points. We've actually only scored points in one race this season. It was in Japan, and we probably should have done better than that P8 which we got. And we are kind of holding back our team. We're sitting P6 in the Constructors. I mean, our teammate hasn't done too much either. I mean, he got points in that first race as well. But we're coming into Las Vegas with a bit of practice, hoping that we can put more points on the board, shoot our way up in the Drivers' Championship, shoot our way up in the Constructors' standings, and hopefully fight a little bit more with the top guys, because it has not been the start that we were hoping for. We've got, I think, only like 15, 16 people here for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. So come on, let's see if we can put it inside the top 5 for qualifying. I think that's a long shot for sure, but I think I could have the pace. I did quite a bit of practice, specifically in qualifying. I was running low 132s. I think the best time I was running was a 32.2, but I think the 3 qualified laps before this session, it was between like a 32.2 and a 32.7 was what I was running. So I'm looking for at least a mid 32, and then we'll see where that puts me. If we can get a top 5, that'll be unbelievable, but at least be inside the top 10 to start with, so we're inside the point scoring positions, because qualifying was our big kryptonite last year. Can we sort it out this time about? It's been okay so far this season, but it could certainly be better as we go really wide there into the final chicane, and that is going to lose us time. And Vegas is a very difficult circuit because it's so low grip. It's very hard to get right. As you can see, a 33.0 is the fastest so far, and we do a 33.1, which is about 6 tenths of where I want to be. You know, it is the first lap, so I'll let it off, but I wanted to at least get a high 32 for my first lap, and you can see we're not even inside the top 10 after everybody's banker laps are in. 31.9 is the fastest time, and we're about 1.2 seconds off of that with a 33.1. We know there was a mistake through a couple corners in that lap, specifically in that final sector where in that chicane you can see we went wide, and we probably lost about half a second there maybe. So we just got to try and get it all right for this final lap. We've got one more chance to put ourselves at least inside the top 10. I mean, the top 5, we're not even going to talk about the top 5 now. We're going to get in the top 10. So you can see it's a decent first part to the first sector, as we already find ourselves up a 10th. And, I mean, there's someone in the runoff down there, I think, so that's a little bit distracting. But, yeah, we're up a 10th, losing a little bit of time there, and it's a difficult track to go full push, because you push too much, you're going to go sliding. One, because you've got to run low downforce, because you've got that massive long straight. But also, because it's a street track, there's a lot less grip on this track than other regular tracks. So you've got to try and find the limit, and I was really struggling in practice around here, trying to find the limit and what I could do. As onto this left-hander, that's so difficult to get right. I think we actually clipped the wall on the exit, and that costs us all the way down the straight. And it's such a difficult corner because it's like a downhill left-hander, and I don't know how to go over that bump, because some people manage to go over the bump and not like jump up super high and get a really clean exit, but I can't seem to do that. So we're gonna have to find all the time in the final chicane. We brake late, and yeah, that's not gonna do it. We invalidate the lap time. We do actually find a little bit of time in the exit, but through the chicane it was terrible there again, and I'm not happy with myself at all, because this is an absolute stinker of a performance in qualifying. It's P14. I think we are going to drop down to P15, and we're starting ahead of one person. We could have been inside that top 10 for sure. I mean, we're running mid to low 32s in practice, so if we did the perfect lap, we could have maybe been top 3, but you never run a perfect lap in qualifying. But we could have at least been inside that top 10, and we could have been in the fight at the very start. Instead, we're going to be starting at the back once again, and yeah, those qualifying woes from F13 last season are coming in again, creeping back in, and it's a little bit frustrating. We did have to restart the lobby though, so we do get fresh sets of softs, which is always good strategy wise. It gives us a little bit something different to think about, and we are going to start on the softs for that reason, because we're right at the back. Let's start on the softs. Let's get away quickly. Try and make up a couple of positions, especially on a low grip track. I want to be on the grippiest tyre, and we will have another fresh set of softs at the end of the Grand Prix. We are going to go for the two-stop strategy. So softs, medium softs, is the way that we're going to go, and partly because there's probably going to be safety cars. I mean, it's a street track, a low grip track. Yeah, there's definitely going to be safety cars. People are going to be flying into the walls left, right, and centre. But let's get ready to get going in Vegas. It's 5 red lights, and we are underway. And it's not a bad start on the soft tyres. On the inside, we have a Mercedes on the hard, so we want to get ahead of him. And we want to see if we can find a way past some of the cars in front. Oh, my goodness me. We have gone bowling in Vegas. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. That is an absolute rotter. We've got an orange front wing. I think we took out 4, maybe 5 cars. It wasn't quite a strike, but we got pretty close to it. That is an absolute rotter. Let's see what happened on the replay again. It's a good launch. We were on the soft tyres, so we were probably going to get a better launch than the cars around us who were on the hards. But down into turn 1, yeah. I mean, what, there's 3, 4, 5 cars caught up in that incident. I mean, 3 have gone spinning, so I apologise to everybody in this incident. I've had an absolute rotter here, and we're going to see it again on my point of view. I don't know what I'm doing. I should just stick behind that Aston Martin, and yeah, I braked 50 metres too late. That is all on me. Heroics into turn 1. Yeah, and it's certainly not heroics there. We got a broken front wing, and a VSC eventually comes out later this lap. As you can see, Andy in the wall there. I think someone dive bombed him, and yeah, he's been kind of forced into the wall. So that's the end of his race, but only a VSC. Either way, our race is pretty much done, unless a safety car comes out. And I think the only reason I could think of as to why I dive bombed into turn 1 was the fact that I'm on a set of soft tyres, and I wanted to make the most of them. But yeah, I mean, look how far we are behind on the minimap. We're so far behind everybody. But yeah, no, that's not an excuse at all to say, oh, I'm on the soft tyres, let's dive bomb everybody. It was absolute rotter, and it's just going from bad to worse. We're 5 laps in. We've broken our front wing again. Gunther Steiner's going to be going mental at me because we're just costing the team more and more money. And yeah, I just want to retire at this point because I've had enough. You know, I've ruined like 5 people's races into turn 1. And I've broken my front wing twice already. As you see the McLaren up ahead coming into the pits. He's doing exactly what I want to do, and he's going to retire from the Grand Prix. And at this point, I see there's only 12 people left. So in my head, I'm like, all right, we're just going to keep going. If there's 2 more retirements in this Grand Prix, I am going to get some points here in Vegas. Not that I deserve any points. I definitely do not deserve any points, but the chance is there. So as a racer, if I can score points, even if it is the worst and most undeserving point possible, I'll still try and get it. And that's exactly what we're going to do. As another VSC comes out. Is that the 3rd one this race? We've had 3 VSCs already, or is that the 2nd one? I think that might be the 2nd one. Yeah, that's the 2nd one. But still, that's another VSC coming out, and that is another DNF. We have someone else DNFing. So all of a sudden, we're inside the top 11. 16 people started the Grand Prix. 5 people are out, and I don't think anybody DNF'd because of my dive bomb into turn 1. I know it certainly ruined races. People went spinning. Some people lost their front wing, but I don't think anybody actually DNF'd from that turn 1 incident. So, well, I hope not. Maybe there was 1 or 2 people. But either way, 5 have DNF'd in total, and we find ourselves, well, for now, inside the top 10, but not for very long because we've got to take off the front wing. But we are going to be in P11. So 1 more DNF, or maybe even more DNFs, we could get points. So multiple points, which we will take because of how bad we're doing in the standings. And there you go. That's the 3rd VSC of the race. We've had so many VSCs so far. No safety cars, though. Where is the safety cars? I will happily take a safety car so I can get to the back of the grid. But I think it's the game pretty much saying you do not deserve a safety car. You're getting a VSC just to annoy the crap out of you. But that does mean that someone else has DNF'd. You can see the Alpine in the top left has DNF'd. And that's going to allow us to get some points here in Vegas. Not that I deserve it, but we are going to score a singular point. Could be points, though, because look how far behind we are. We are dead last by a country mile, almost going to get lapped. So I'm going to come into the pits and go for the fastest lap, because why not? You know, we're in dead last, we're in P10, and we can't do any worse than what we're doing. So we're going to come into the pits, put on a set of softs, and we're going to run you through the final lap, because this race has gone by super, super quick, and it's because absolutely nothing happened for us during this race, other than us running laps and constantly hitting the wall once in a while. You know, it was it was a terrible race to be a part of. I did not enjoy any lap. Except for maybe this one, because we're on a set of softs, we've got a new front wing, and we're enjoying life now inside the points. And we could make it 2 points if we hit the fastest lap here. And you can see the AlphaTauri up ahead. These are all lapped cars ahead of us. We wouldn't have got lapped if we didn't pit, but we pit for the fastest lap. And now we have to make it count. I mean, it'll be a bit embarrassing if we've chucked on a set of soft tyres for the final lap and we do not get fastest lap. I think the Ferrari up ahead is trying the same thing, so if we lose out to him, then that won't be as embarrassing as losing out to someone who's on a used set of mediums. And or I think someone did set it with like 12 laps to go, so they were on brand new mediums, but they were also on like 12 extra laps of fuel. So if we don't get fastest lap, I think it'll be a little bit embarrassing if we lose out to someone who did it with 12 extra laps of fuel and on a harder set of compound. So hopefully we get it, because it will be a little embarrassing if we don't. It's only a green middle sector, which is a little bit worrying. I'm getting a little bit nervous into the final chicane. Can we? Oh, we've hit the wall. Please tell me that is not going to cost us the fastest lap as we go on the long run down to the finish line. Please. I know it's a 33 something that we've got to beat, and we do a 33.6 and we just about get it. I tell you what, we were cutting that close. I think it was a 33.8 or a 33.9 that I think it was Crifflem did that on a set of mediums, brand new set of mediums, but with like 12 laps to go, maybe 10 laps to go. So he had a lot more fuel in the car, and I think that just shows how good the people at the top are when they can pretty much only be like 2-3 tenths slower than me when I'm on a fresh set of softs with 1 lap of fuel left in it. And you can see there, we do get P10 and we do get the fastest lap. So we take home 2 points in a race that we absolutely did not deserve anything from. We deserve to retire after lap 1, after what we did into turn 1. And Crifflem getting another victory. He's finished on the podium in every race. I mean, that consistency is scary. And he is trying to pull away from Icewind. That's going to be a good title fight between Icewind and Crifflem. We stay down in P13. We pick up a couple of points, thankfully. And yeah, we didn't do too much in the constructors, but our teammate did, as he picked up a P2. A brilliant performance from him, from P8 to P2. Well done, mate. I'm sorry that I'm literally doing nothing in the constructors, but we're 3 points away from P3. Hopefully, we can keep that charge going and we can try and pick up a few points for our teammate. But that is the PSGL video. I'm sorry that it was short. Literally not much happened because I was so far out of it and no safety car came. So I'm sorry about that. But if you did enjoy the video, make sure you go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.